Ladies and gentlemen, we got another one. Another disrespectful IRL streamer in trouble with the federal authorities in other countries for being stupid. Apparently this time somebody fled Korea. Let's see what Atozi's got to say about it. Sounds like a super insane situation. And we're probably going to be talking about this one again. Never heard of this guy though, so I don't know.
This disrespectful streamer just fled Korea after the police confronted him to avoid charges.
I got a hose. I'm gonna get a strong zero right now. Big mafia, big boys, That's a girl? Well, if that's a girl, I want her.
If you're running around in public screaming that you have a big peepee, you probably have a very, very small peepee. This guy has a small peepee.
Is that a girl? Hello? Are you a girl? Oh, nah, I want you. What's up, baby? You got a fat ass. No. Fuck all that extra shit. I want you, baby. Look at that ass, bro.
Wow. I think they're just getting dumber. I think they're actually getting dumber. And I've seen situations where they started like that and got way worse and ended with one of the two people being killed.
Bar has been set so low for IRL streamers, and somehow things just keep on getting more tragic. And because of how this guy acts, he's now been labeled as the new Golden Goblin after disrespecting people around in South Korea. And
the more this kind of thing happens, the worse it gets. The more they're going to crack down on it. And people are just not going to be able to have their phones out in public eventually.
Japan and being reported by news channels worldwide. I mean, you can't make this up. How are they multiplying? Who in their right mind sees Johnny Smalley facing over a decade in South Korean prison and goes, I want to do that? What is wrong with these people? Come on! Also, to quickly explain the Golden Goblin term, there are groups of Koreans who are frustrated with these people coming into their country and live streaming themselves harassing people for clout.
And a lot of them, I'd say a grand majority of the ones that I've seen being talked about in public are black. So it's just making the race issues over there even worse.
They started putting bounties on knocking these people out. Johnny Smalley was the first example of that. And the reason for the term Golden Goblin is if you knock them out, they drop loot, like a video game. But in this case, the loot is whatever bounty they put on him. For Johnny, it was rumored to be around $10,000. So we're not talking about small sums of money. That's actually kind of a crazy amount of loot, right?
Yeah, what if they find out about it and they just like tell a guy, hey, I'll give you $1,000 if you come and punch me in the face at this time. There's a bounty up for me. I'll give you part of the money. Let's collect this bounty. Punch me in the face.
There. But if you followed my channel for a while, you probably know that I've been covering plenty of nuisance streamers disturbing the peace in foreign countries, especially in Asia recently. Over the past few weeks, we have Johnny Somali. I guess that was just the beginning. Then you had Joshua Block in Japan and Vitaly now in the Philippines. But this guy today might be taking the crown for the dumbest speedrun to jail. Or well, almost jail, because he ended up fleeing the country after all this happened.
Yeah, and you can't do that. They're gonna get you. What country are you gonna go back to? The United States?
Because what's actually kind of crazy is this guy had somewhat of a legitimate career before all this went down. So meet Dave Willis, also known as Black Dave, a former rapper and professional skateboarder who was known back in the day for blending hip-hop and skating in custom-made music videos.
It's Black Dave, you rocking with Route 1. Let's turn up. New York City, we in this, UK. Let's go.
In 2012, he dropped a song called Black Donald Trump and joined a hip-hop/punk crew called Black Punk, in which he stayed a member until 2016 when
What is it with all these people and Donald Trump? Because they're not Trump supporters. It's like they are Trump supporters. Like they're not actually listening to what Trump has to say. They're just getting involved in the spaces where Trump supporters are. Or they're like watching Trump supporter content and being like, these people get a lot of views. Trump gets a lot of views, so we're just going to attach Trump to our name.
Dave announced that he would no longer be making rap music.
I put on my Instagram that I lost motivation to create rap music. I feel like I'm just creating music for what people want to hear and not for who I am and really what I want to put out there.
And then he moves on to doing a live stream, crashing out in public, doing crazy stuff, because that's what people want to see. So he just moved on to a different avenue. Dude just makes garbage content, I guess.
Fast forward a couple years and he became a New York-based influencer and YouTuber. He gained most of his traction on Instagram, where he had most of his followers, but over time he's given quite a few interviews on podcasts and other media vehicles, primarily for his skateboarding, rapping, and his role in New York City. I mean, he was even trusted enough that No Jumper chose him to interview Ice Spice in 2022. So it's safe to say Black Dave had somewhat of a niche carved out for himself, not only by the audience, but also by his colleagues. However, if that was all, and his story stopped there, we wouldn't really be talking about him here on this channel. So what happened? How do we go from interviewing major artists to allegedly assaulting Korean citizens for live stream content? Well, in an interview, Dave tells us that it all started last year when he watched Ice Poseidon's scavenger hunt streams, and he ended up going, you know what? I want to live stream in New York City.
Imagine looking at Ice Poseidon and saying, yeah, I want to be like that guy.
Perfect opportunity to like start something off. You know, it was almost like the cards fell in my hand. It was up to me. It was like, do you want to do this or not? Everybody's in your city right now. Take advantage. So
just like Ice, Dave chose Kick as a central platform, a decision that would eventually come.
Of course he did. That's where all the degenerate streamers go. That's where all of these morons go. Every time.
Back to bite him, but surprisingly not for the main reason I'm talking about today. And to be fair, his content here in the US was pretty tame and mild compared to some of the other stuff that I've been covering here on this channel. He would occasionally do something stupid, but still, the worst he did back then was manually try to open some gate barrier, break it, then flee the scene, rather than simply paying. Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
All right, bro. Bro, this place. Get me out of here. 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 Get me out.
This guy is an actual moron. Okay, I can see how this just got worse over time because people were making fun of him and it drove up his engagement, I guess. People were commenting. So he was like, oh, if I do stupid stuff, I get popular. Yep. Now everybody knows about him.
Get me out of here. 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 Right now. Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Why, dude? Why? And why live stream yourself doing it? Well, then you had a clip where he got arrested for parking his bike in front of a small grocery store.
He live streams himself doing it like they all do, because if they stop live streaming, then that means that people can't donate. If they're off for just a minute, that could have been a minute where somebody sent them $5.
Hi. ID? Something wrong? I know, but it's 50cc. I was told 50cc I don't need a plate. And I literally just came from upstairs. All my stuff is upstairs. I was told it's upstairs. Yeah. Oh my god. All right, stream. I'm getting arrested, guys.
You put this stuff down.
No, I have to at least turn my stuff off. Just allow me to turn. I'm turning it off. I'm just turning it off. That's all.
You need to put this stuff down.
Okay, I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you.
On the ground. Take his bag off.
And then another time where some random guy crashed into his bike, even though, to be fair, that last one wasn't Dave's fault.
What are we talking about? Oh, you're a dude. And I just cut my whole hand up because you. So where's my skateboard, bro? Where's my shit at, bro? You're an idiot, dude.
What a piece of garbage, actually. Like, I don't care if I'm riding my bike and there's another dude riding his bike and he runs into me like that, I'm gonna be like, oh, hey, bro, are you okay? Man, you ran into me. And then be done with it. That's the end of the story.
What you mean? You just ran the light. What do you mean? I was waiting this way. Huh? Go ahead. You idiot.
So, compared to Johnny Somaly's Hall of Fame idiotic behavior, Dave was just some guy who genuinely was live streaming his life. You know, the actual point of IRL streaming. But clearly, he also live streamed himself doing some absolute dumb shit. From time to time, Dave collaborated with other smaller US IRL streamers who he called friends. From Kick streamers to Twitch streamers to YouTube and even Rumble influencers. One of these guys was OG Yeezer, a Las Vegas-based IRL.
I would say Johnny Somali did dumber stuff, but at least he didn't try to flee Korea.
IRL streamer who also calls himself the OG Majestic Lion. And to put things lightly, he's a problematic character. And also becomes important to the story later on. But more recently, he got in touch with Ice Poseidon himself. A guy
Everybody, it's always centered around Ice Poseidon. What is it with this guy, Ice Poseidon? Why are they all infatuated with this dude?
who admittedly inspired Dave in the first place and basically is the grandfather of IRL streaming, even though he's had his fair share of absolute moronic moments throughout his career. And when Ice went out to Japan to live stream 24/7, Dave was one of the characters.
Not just moronic, he kind of skirted over the fact that Ice Poseidon scammed his audience, I think out of hundreds of thousands of dollars, or maybe it was just tens of thousands. It was a lot of money. More money than I've ever been in contact with. And was just like, I'm gonna look out for myself, and rug pulled a crypto coin, I think. Something like that.
Who started showing up in those live streams. And at first, things seemed to be okay. Dave really wanted to distance himself from the nuisance streamer title, and he even made a point to go to the actual comfort statue and pay his respects, because he wanted to demonstrate that he actually respected the Koreans and their culture.
Here, I'm here to give peace, love, and show respect for this statue and what it represents. We are not nuisance streamers. We show love, we show peace, and respect.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. We're not nuisance streamers. Flees the country because he's a nuisance streamer.
Even though I couldn't find a clip of Dave being a part of CX, which is Ice Poseidon's group, or interacting with the guys before the trip to the Asian countries, Dave clearly stated his loyalty to his colleagues, especially when he defended Ice Poseidon when some fan kind of pressed him.
Ice Poseidon!
Yeah!
Yo, are you friend of Johnny Somali?
No, he's not. Why you said that though?
No, that motherfucker's going to jail.
Okay, so why you touching
He's
him?
going to jail.
You ain't gotta touch nobody though. You good,
I
bro?
ain't touching you, bro.
You just touched him though.
I was about to say, he looks a little drunk. I could see it in his eyes. He's got the drunk eyes.
You good though? Back up
I'm
though.
trying to make friends, bro.
Are you a fan? Are you a fan of Ice?
Yes,
So show love, bro.
I am. Hey, bro.
All right, bro. Come cordial.
Respect.
Don't come like, are you a friend of Johnny Somali? Sound like you trying to press, bro.
No, the
Relax, bro. You good, bro?
the drama.
And
Be
you a
like
little
that, though.
swole, bro. So we gotta watch out for you, bro.
What is with this guy? The drunk guy sounded like he was kind of just joking. And then this, I don't even remember his name, David? The guy who crashed out and fled Korea? See, he's that irrelevant. I don't even remember his name. I just know him as the guy who fled Korea.
All right?
But you understand the drama, though.
Johnny Somali, what now?
That
Johnny Somali, what
motherfucker,
now?
He's about to run.
That, okay.
Okay, so while that's good and all, here's the thing about claiming that you're not a nuisance streamer. Your actions kind of have to back that up as well. And the problem is, Dave's actions speak way louder than his words.
I'm not a nuisance streamer. Wants to be like a nuisance streamer and hangs out with a nuisance streamer and defends him in public against a guy who tries to say he's a nuisance streamer.
And his actions in Korea and Japan tell a very different story from what he initially said. For example, when he started following a woman around a convenience store in Japan being an absolute waste of space in society.
Bro, I got a hose. I'm gonna get a strong zero right now. Big Chin Chin Mafia. Big Chin Chin boys. Hey, that's a girl? Well, if that's a girl, I want her. Is that a girl? Hello? Are you a girl? Oh, nah, I want you. What's up, baby? You got a fat old. No. Fuck all that extra shit. I want you, baby. Look at that ass, bro. I want that, bro. She thick as hell, bro. I like thick Johns, bro. No. Fuck all that extra shit. Let me get your number.
Really? This is what we're doing now? Calling him pathetic would be an understatement.
He was giving really bad R-word and unalive vibes. I have to say it like that. That's crazy. YouTube censors for small channels. Fuck you.
Like, seeing people act like this is always a great reminder that your life is actually going pretty well. You don't need to be a burden to society to make a living. I mean, there are many other clips of him being disrespectful to people who were just minding their own business. Like when he got into this taxi with his phone on low battery.
Plug in. Can you please plug in, sir?
이걸 꽂으시 왜냐하면 그것은
Please.
내 것이기 때문이다.
Please, bro. Plug this in, bro.
And that is how you get shot in the United States. By crashing out like that toward an Uber driver or whatever this situation is.
Oh man, I mean, if there's a language barrier, yelling at them because you can't control your emotions will not help you. If you simply use a translation app like Papa Go, your life will be infinitely easier and you won't be giving Americans and influencers a garbage reputation over.
Yeah, but that doesn't look good on stream. Doesn't make for a funny moment on stream. What a piece of garbage.
There. I mean, the simple action of just being respectful will get you so far in life. But the worst incident, and the main reason for this video, must be when he allegedly assaulted a man in Seoul while he was trying to get into a car.
Oh, burger. Yo, don't touch me, bro. Well, you don't touch me. Don't touch me. What's up with you? What's wrong with you? Get in that car.
Yeah, he's getting over dramatic because he's on stream. And he thinks he's being entertaining by being random and annoying. And being a nuisance, like a nuisance streamer does.
That car. What's wrong with you? It's crazy out here, son. I'll break your neck.
This guy's got severe anger issues. And I don't even think he actually does. I think he has severe anger on camera issues.
While we couldn't really see exactly what happened in this video, Korean media has been referring to this as an assault. And whatever happened was serious enough that someone called the police, who later arrived at the scene.
What did I do, bro?
you do it.
I'm not doing anything, bro. What did I do? Literally, what did I do?
Well, they can show you. It's all on camera. They'll definitely show him whenever they bring him back to court in Korea, because he's definitely going back.
No, what did I do, bro? No, what did I just do, though? Nah, what did I do, bro? I'm literally trying to go home, bro.
Okay.
I'm going home, bro.
I will know.
No, I'm trying to go home. Let me go home, bro. Let me go home, bro. Please. Let me just go home, bro. Please. I'm going home.
So this interaction was pretty similar to the first interactions that Johnny Smalley had with the police in Korea. They didn't really have enough to arrest him, but it was clear that they started investigating him. And some Twitter users wasted no time in calling Dave the new Golden Goblin. And just like what happened with the original Golden Goblin, the Korean news channels were all over this.
A video recently surfaced on an online community showing a foreign YouTuber assaulting a pedestrian during a live broadcast in Korea.
Yeah, they're just going to be blasting them all over the news from now on. Every single one of them, they're just going to get blasted all over every news channel. Yeah, this isn't a small thing that's going on. Like, people think it's just small and that it's just like random journalists in America that are covering this. No. Entire news organizations in these countries are covering this. Everybody knows about it. Only people who are on the internet here know about it.
The YouTuber, identified as rapper Black Dave, appeared to have been reacting to the pedestrian parking his car on the sidewalk. In the footage, the YouTuber suddenly approached a man who was about to enter his vehicle, punched him in the face, and insulted him. The victim staggered, visibly shaken by the totally unexpected attack. While his actions may be seen as vigilante justice by some, violence is never justifiable or condoned in the country's criminal justice system and will most likely result in the perpetrator being prosecuted. The situation was particularly dangerous as the victim was wearing glasses, which could have led to more severe injuries.
So after all these reports blew up, Dave, I guess, learned something from the Johnny Smalley incident and got up and fled the country. He was out of there so fast after that happened. He clearly was like, I am not spending a decade in jail here. I'm not going to be caught up in some legal limbo situation for the next year. So he just bounced right back to the US. And then after he got back to the US, he made a response video to this.
So I appreciate Korea so much. In the future, I'm going to learn from my mistakes and learn how to move better.
I think we're going to be seeing this guy again. I don't think he's done. Definitely not going to be doing this kind of stuff in Korea or in the United States. Because in the United States, people don't fuck around. In Korea and other countries, the governments don't fuck around. The people fuck around because the governments don't fuck around. In the United States, the government fucks around and the people don't.
I believe at the end of the video, I reacted in a way that I shouldn't have. I got very angry and I reacted verbally. But again, I did not lay a hand on that gentleman and he did not lay a hand on me. Kick has already had a lot of bad publicity with Johnny Somali. And I want to let people know I'm not a Johnny Somali 2.0.
I don't know. From what I've seen so far, you're like a Johnny Somali 0.5.
I don't respect him. I don't want to be like him. So it's unfortunate that I'm being compared to him. I just got a little carried away, just trying to be funny, you know, just trying to make a joke out of this man's situation. So look, he tries to open the door. He can't get in. I was just walking by and saw that. As soon as he looks at me, is when it happens.
Well, I don't know. You're walking up to some guy who's just trying to go about his day, screaming in his face, and you're obviously a foreigner, saying the same things over and over again. He didn't know what was going on, man. He thought he was being assaulted by a crazy person.
Don't. You see his hand. You see his fist go up. You see his fist go up.
Yeah, don't run up on somebody trying to be annoying, trying to be funny when they don't want that.
You see his hand go up. That's when the camera goes out of focus. This is his hand right here. This is his hand right here. You see his hand go up. That's when it goes out of focus. You see his fist right here, his knuckles. That's his knuckles. They tried to put this clip before it to make it seem like I'm getting paid to do this, or I'm getting subs and doing this for subs. It was two completely separate moments.
But the whole reason that he even walked up on that guy being funny is because he was live streaming. So yes, he was being paid. He was doing it for subs. And that guy 100% got assaulted, and Mr. Flee Korea guy is the assaulter. For money. For money!
I mean, that could also just be him flinching from you running up in his face, because he didn't do anything to provoke you to get that close.
I don't even care. I don't even care if dude punched him, because I would have done the exact same thing.
But either way, I don't know. It's hard to say when you don't have a better angle. But despite the public disturbance, his passage through Korea and Japan went relatively smooth. Even after things got a little bit more serious for him, but even if he managed to escape his potential repercussions in Korea, it's safe to say his actions started catching up to him. Because just a few days later, when Dave was already back in New York, he got into a fight with his old friend, OG Geezer, who we briefly mentioned earlier.
Of course he did. Because that's what idiots do. That's what morons do. They fight each other. They fist fight. Probably over nothing. And they were probably drinking too.
And since he was broadcasting everything when it happened, he immediately got banned on Kick. OG Geezer was also live on YouTube and Rumble then, but his channels weren't affected on either platform. So I guess that's really it. That's where the story ends, at least for now. As of recording this video, Dave is still banned on Kick, not for allegedly assaulting someone in Korea, but for that incident of fighting OG Geezer in some apartment in New York. I feel like the most unreasonable thing about this whole story is these guys watch Johnny get into some serious legal trouble for everything he's done in Korea in the last few months, and then turn around and go and do the exact same thing.
Yeah, they've proven themselves to be morons. Every single one of them. And if you do stuff like that even after you see everybody going down for it, you're an even bigger moron.
I guess the only thing he learned from Johnny was as soon as he got into some serious hot water, he bounced before it was too late. But either way, just acting this ignorant is pathetic at this point. And all while trying to explicitly distance themselves from the image and insisting that they're not nuisance streamers. If you're not a nuisance streamer, don't act like one. Because come on, the irony is pretty painful with this one. But other than that, feel free to subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I hope he gets extradited. I hope he gets sent back to Korea. We need to put a stop to all of this stuff. I think that in America, we need to start charging people that go to these other countries doing these things. Breaking their laws and spitting all over their culture. I think we should have laws here for doing things like that. Like actual crazy nuisance stuff. Like if you go and install one of their great statues, you should be charged here in the United States if you try and flee. Or, hey, fight it in court. You know, you're just gonna have to fight it in court. And I think maybe the United States should probably help foreigners who do things to get themselves arrested, and they should find them guilty of being a nuisance. But whatever comes his way is probably going to be bad. There's always consequences to your actions, and eventually they all catch up to you. Buy a t-shirt or something down there in the description. I'm out.